Hi, I'm Jennie, and I'm one of the Sibme moms, and I wanted to talk with you today about helping your kids get along. So, I'm a mom of 8. Our ages range from 9 to 22. She'll be 23 on Thursday. And we've been schooling at home for 14 years, and I've been working at home for several years now, too. And so, some of the things that have worked for us, I wanted to share with you in case they would be a help to you as you find yourself probably experiencing a little more togetherness than normal. I know that we are. And so one of the most important ingredients in a successful homeschooling day for us is positive sibling relationships. So anything we can do to promote those, we definitely look for. So a couple of things that have worked for us is we've helped sisters around here to become best friends would be first finding activities that they can complete together. So any type of learning activity, but also sometimes just playing together. One of the best ways I have found to build camaraderie and rapport is having to learn cooperation while completing an activity. So some examples are jigsaw puzzles. So my kids love to put puzzles together. And the great thing about puzzles is any age can participate, and so they can all work on it together. It's also great because if you have a table where you can leave it, they can come and go. But there's always something there for them to be able to go congregate together to complete that task together. So they do enjoy jigsaw puzzles. Another thing is playing board games. Old school, they love Monopoly, they love Guess Who, Battleship, those kind of things, where they can do something together. And sometimes it gets a little heated. I have a couple of very competitive ones that maybe aren't playing for fun. But then I guess I have, thankfully we have the other end of the spectrum with the laid back ones who really don't care if the competitive one wins. So that works out for us well too. Building models. Remember those old school models? You could build a ship or a plane or a car. They still sell those at Hobby Lobby. And they come with a million pieces. They take a long time, and they build some camaraderie and cooperation as they work to get those things together. So that is a small investment for a big time investment. But also, you don't always have to stay in the house. I know maybe our families have to stay together. We don't get to participate with other families as easily right now. But even your family going out and taking like a nature hike where you're looking, or a scavenger hunt where you're looking for specific things. Not all learning activities have to be pencil and paper based. So being able to get outside and find things and learn about something. And I know for my girls, if they find something, a bug or a leaf or something that interests them, they like to come back in and look it up and find out what it is and find out. They're really big on if they find caterpillars, they want to know what it's going to turn into. So those kind of things can be fun. So finding learning activities that can be completed together is one of the best ways to build camaraderie. Secondly, allowing those older ones to help the younger ones. So if you're schooling multiple children, if you have an older one who likes to grade, so one of my girls wants to be an elementary school teacher when she grows up, and I'm so thankful for that because she loves to grade. And so she will grade her younger sister's work. And then she will help her through the missed problems. She loves to do it. It's a huge time saver for me. I love that she loves to do it, but she thinks it's fun. And it does a couple of things, right? It helps get the work complete, but it also helps that younger one. She's learning the content. The older one is learning how to teach it, or making sure she understands it completely as she has to teach it. So that's a help to her learning as well. And then also, I don't know if you have an emergent reader in your midst, but by the time I taught my 5th kid to read, I was pretty convinced that having a root canal was less painful than listening to Frog and Toad read aloud one more time. So my second oldest girl at the time, she took one for the team, and she listened to that sister read every single day that school year. And I was so thankful because that reader, that new reader, she needed to be able to read to somebody, and she needed somebody to help her along the way. And I was thankful that there was an older sister that was available and willing to do that for both her and me. So those time-saving things are super helpful. Same thing with like spelling words or math facts, anything they can do to help those younger ones learn those things. that's a blessing definitely to me. So my first one was learning activities together, and the last one is kind of the opposite of that, because not every activity has to be done together. So we have a dedicated time in our day. It's 90 minutes long, and it used to be nap time. So back when they were younger and they needed a nap, we blocked out that time. And then as my older ones got older, they didn't need a nap time anymore, but my younger ones still did. And so they just had to find something quietly to do. The rule was if you woke up the younger one, you had to entertain them. And so everybody stayed very quiet. But what it became, because nobody needs a nap anymore, everybody's old enough to not need a nap, but what it became was this nice block of time in the middle of their afternoon where they get to pick an activity of choice as long as it's quiet. Most of them will read. My girls love to read. Most of them will read. Some of them will craft. They'll do some kind of craft project, whatever it is. It just has to be quiet. And they just occupy themselves for 90 minutes quietly. It helps them regroup. I basically ask them to be kind and pleasant towards one another all day long. And this 90-minute blocks gives them some quiet, some kind of this just a regrouping time to be alone. And so, because you can imagine, it's a lot of girls. All of my kids are girls. And so I have 8 daughters. It's a lot of talking. And there's a lot of chat. There's always somebody telling a story, asking a question, chatting with a sister. I mean, there's always talking. And so that 90-minute break in our day allows everybody just a little room to breathe before, getting back up and finishing the day strong. And so it has been a big help around here. Plus, I can get a lot done during that 90 minutes with work. So if you're working at home and schooling at home, having a dedicated rest time or quiet time in your day can help you be a little more productive, maybe with work as well. So learning activities together, allowing those older ones to help the younger ones, and then finding that dedicated part of the day to regroup with a quieter rest time. Those 3 things have helped us as a family to get along. It helps my kids to get along, and leads to a much more successful schooling day. A lot of times in the morning, if I feel like some of them are a little on edge, we can, knowing that break time is coming is a big help to them, I think, just as they, because sometimes living in community is tough. And so it helps them, it helps me, and it gets us a much calmer afternoon, I think. So that's all I have for today. I'll be back later to talk about schooling with technology, combining grade levels, and some of my favorite resources. But until then, I hope these are helpful to you. They have definitely helped my kids to cooperate and get along better. And so I hope they're helpful to you as well. Thanks.